Welcome back everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 5 of Battlestar Galactica, and we are playing with all of our expansions on the board. So we've got the main Galactica board set up. We have got the Pegasus expansion with New Caprica, and we'll be playing with the New Caprica destination for this game. We also have the Breaking Dawn. It's not called Dawn, it's called Dawn, I think. And finally, we've got Exodus as well. So that gives us the Demetrius, the Rebel base star, and the Cylon flotilla off to the side. We've also got the Pegasus on the board. And we're playing with 8 characters. So we'll kind of go through who we've got here. We've got Leah Dama as the CAG. We've got Tom Zarek as the president. We've got Galen Tyrrell as the chief. We've got Kat as a fighter pilot. Gaius Baltar as the president, which is kind of like in the theme of New Caprica. We've got Saul Ty. New Caprica, we have Caprica 6 starting out in the Caprica planet, and we also have Cavil starting out in the fleet. But they can quickly move over to the Flotilla Cylon and the Rebel Cylon fleet. We've also got Leah Dama starting out in a Viper. We've got Tyrrell and Kat starting out in the hangar. President Baltar in the laboratory. Admiral Zarek in the arms control. Exo, Saul, Ty in the command. Caprica 6 on Caprica, and Cavil in the Cylon fleet. We've got our cards in play at the top. We've also have the components for sort of like the NPCs that we can run into here. We've also got all of the minis painted up here. So you see the minis are out on the board, but I've also been moving their storage into these sort of individual boxes here. So just kind of show this off. As you guys know, we've painted these in a painting video. If you've seen our past seasons 1 through 4, you can go check those out. We are playing with 8 players here. Again, Battlestar Galactica is definitely more fun as a group game, but I think kind of walking through the dynamic here is what my goal is. And I got a couple other ideas I want to float out to you guys before we jump into turn 1. So we basically got the game board set up. Before we jump into gameplay, quick shout out to our sponsor, Pontos Fathom Press. 3-volume set here of the Artificial Psychology of Desiring Machines. As you know, one of the themes in Battlestar is, we've created a race of sentient Cylons, and what happens after we let that cat out of the bag. So this kind of explores that. Impedance and Admittance in Desiring Machines, Volume 1. Volume 2, Impedance and Admittance Desiring Machines, available right now. Psychoanalysis of Artificial Intelligence, that is in editing mode. We should have proof copies out later this summer, so look forward to this. And then finally, by Christmas time, Computational Complexity in Psychiatric Agency should be out by the end of the year, Q4. So keep an eye out for these. Definitely check over on our Patreon below. Check out our bookstore if you want to see some behind-the-scenes inner baseball for these books. We've also got the Cthulhu books out there, so go check out the bookstore. It helps to support the channel. As you guys know, we are not monetized here, and we're looking to go live streaming. So your likes, subscriptions, comments below really help it out. Before I jump into turn 1, I kind of had this idea. I've been seeing some interest out there on board game mashups. So obviously this is Battlestar Galactica Season 5. We'll play pretty straight rules with all the sets. We'll activate components that we like, and we've left other components off in the box. So I think we can go forward that way. But what would you guys think about a board game mashup series? So my idea here is we spend a little bit of time developing a concept. Say, for example, you know how the Cylons have the ability to see an illusionary world, right? So even though they're on the base star, like the dynamic between Baltar and Caprica 6, where they can kind of see a hallucination, sort of this consensual hallucination. So the Cylons can actually live with a different environment around them because their minds are able to interpret things that way. And I think that Caprica 6 helps Gaius when he's being tortured, and then they often have those scenes where they cut away. And that kind of reminded me a little bit about Lost Carcosa and Hastur. So what if we came up with a hybrid, Galactica Death May Die, or, Cthulhu Galactica, or, Battlestar Death May Die, Cthulhu Galactica kind of mashup between Battlestar Galactica game and Cthulhu Death May Die. So maybe the concept would be, and I'm not going to play this out in this round, but maybe just to give you guys the idea of it is, what if we were to play the Great Old One on the board, right? So we have Hastur, just like in the game, has to be activated. And we have some kind of Mythos deck as well. So basically we have 3 rounds. The idea would be human players, Cylon players, and then a round for the Great Old One. And we could draw a Mythos card for that. And then basically, let's say cultists of Hastur could show up around the Cylon fleet. And as they show up around the Cylon fleet, resurrection ships, maybe the Cylons are starting to have performances of the King in Yellow, right? Maybe Gaius Baltar is starting to see visions of these mad cultists. And as we play these Mythos cards, we can kind of find a way to bring them closer to spawning Hastur. And at some point, Hastur comes online on the Galactica. You've got Hastur on the Galactica, and it's sort of like a Cylon invasion. We have to defeat Hastur. Can have some die rolls involved. What do you guys think of coming up with some rules of a hybrid game? I think board game mashups might be something interesting that you guys are interested in. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to explore that. Maybe I'll start up a board game mashup series. So yeah, we can get some feedback from you guys below. I'm thinking also using, Eldritch Horror could be another one that we mix in, because Eldritch Horror has the encounters. So imagine that there's, you could also use Lost Carcosa, where a portal opens up in one of these chambers, either in the haunted base star, say, there's a portal, you go through that portal and have encounters in Lost Carcosa. So that's kind of the idea, mashing up some of the games. I'm even thinking of doing a mashup of Cthulhu Wars with War of the Rings, where it's sort of like the War of the Rings board is used with the Cthulhu Wars cultists, and then suddenly it's the world of the humans, or sort of the Fellowship players, and the Sauron players are almost pitted against the Great Old Ones. Like Sauron's not even as old as the Cthulhu monster, something like this. You could have Black Goat of the Woods, Cthulhu, all spawning cultist activity, and somehow the elves, dwarves, humans have to ally with the Orthanc and Sauron to defeat the Great Old Ones. I mean, so this is, Cthulhu War of the Rings, right? Something like this mashup. So let me know if you guys are interested in mashups. Either way, we can get into that. Okay, so let's jump into the gameplay. I'll just get the turn on. So first of all, we got our Destiny deck set up already. We've got Leodama launched. So we'll start out with getting our cards. We'll have Leodama goes first, and he gets to grab his cards from the deck. So he gets a tactics, 2 pilot cards, and 2 leader cards. So he'll start out with these. Actually, we've got to give everyone their first round of cards. That's another setup I haven't done, so we can go ahead and do that. Politic, 2 engineering cards. Tyrell. Cat, she gets 1. Tactics and piloting. I've also handed out their Are You a Cylon or Not Alliance kind of cards. So Soltai gets leadership and tactics. Gaius Baltar gets politics, leader and engineering. A leadership card and a trader engineering combo, and then a tactics card, and a trader engineering combo. Okay, so I think we can start with Leodama. So as we said, we're heading off to New Caprica. By 7, we get to New Caprica. So we need to do 7 jumps to get to New Caprica. So let's see what our first. We'll shuffle our jump destinations here, and we'll get an idea of what our first. Oh, actually, we don't. Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll have to wait till we do our first jump to see what it is. So that happens after the first jump. So right now we got the jump track here. We don't know what our first jump is. So we're trying to get to New Caprica. We have a sleeper agent wakes up in 4 jumps, and in 7 we get to find New Caprica, which starts all these places being available. Okay, so let's start out with Leodama. He's going to go into move. I think he's just going to stay on patrol here. So he's in patrol. Action. He can use one of his action cards, or one of his actions right now, but I think because we're at the beginning, I think he's fine. We do get to draw a crisis card for him, and his crisis card is part of the Cloud 9 was bombed. Cloud 9 gets bombed by a Cylon agent. So the president gets to decide one of the civilian ships gets destroyed. Oh, actually, we have to set up the 2 civilian ships down below here. So let's just add 2 civilians in the fleet down here. They're just part of the human fleet. And so if he can either have both of these destroyed or take one, and he has to grab a trader card. So Adama's going to just go for that one. He'll protect this one. This one does get destroyed, so we have a discard here. We do get to move the fleet clock 1 by this fleet clock, but we do lose a ship here. And this one that gets destroyed causes population to be reduced 1. So the population goes down 1, and we can discard this one back. And that's going to be Adama's turn. Let's move now over to Tom Zarek's turn. So he's our president. He's control of the nukes. So Tom Zarek will go. He can collect his cards. 2 politics, 2 leader, and 1 tactic. Again, we've got the deck of destiny up there. So let's go ahead and grab his crisis card. Tom Zarek can stay in the control room. Doesn't need to move just yet. So we'll get the accident in the hangar card. So accident in the hangar. We're looking for blues, reds, and purples. If we get +7, we just do -1 of population. If we pass that 10 number, no effect. And if we fail totally, we lose population 2 and 2 vipers. So let's go ahead and we'll add in 2 from the destiny deck, and everyone can go through and bid. So we need reds, blues, and purples. So let's kind of go through this. You can put in Galen Tyrrell. Can go and put in. The cat can put in. Saul Ty can put in. Gaius Baltar. Our Cylon and Cavill. Try to screw everybody. So we'll take these all, we'll shuffle them up, and we'll do the count. And we'll see if the accident in the hangar happens. Best bet is we get no effect. Worst bet is that we have... oh, you know what? Actually, also in Tom Zarek's turn, he's going to launch 2 Vipers. So he's going to launch Vipers as the Admiral. So he gets to launch those Vipers. Maybe, yeah, he'll move down into the... Let's move him into the CIC so he can launch Vipers. And let's go through these now. So we've got 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, Yeah, so we've win this one. There's no effect. So these all get discarded. We can discard this, and also we get to do the jump as well. So we move the jump clock forward one step, and that's going to move the turn counter from Tom Zarek down to Galen Tyrrell. So Galen also gets to collect his cards, and Tyrrell will go ahead and stay in the hangar bay. No damage to the Galactica right now, so I think he's fine there. And we can draw his crisis card. And we get the launch of Scar. Scar gets launched, and so Scar is a special Cylon that Kara Thrace combated with. So let's just use this as Scar. So Scar gets launched here. I think I have a Scar token that I have to pull out as well. So let me find that Scar token, because he's kind of like a player character here. So you've got the Scar. Yeah, so just like we have Adama on a Viper, right? So Adama gets to be on a Viper, and you see his face here, right? We also put Scar, the Cylon Scar here, and then we put this Viper on top. Right, so, and you guys can check out that painting video like I mentioned. So Scars starts here. He's kind of a rogue Cylon intelligence. And let's see what the card action is. So we also have to have two more Vipers out on the board. So we get to have these two Vipers launch as well. So two more Vipers get to launch as well. So now we've got several Vipers. And we also have to put two more human fleet Dratus signals on the board. So it's a personal vendetta by Scar. So on his turn, he gets to move. So with the fleet turn of Scar, so we get to activate the Cylon. So he gets to move. Scar will move one forward for his turn. And that's going to do it for Galen Tyrrell's turn. That's his crisis card. We'll move over to Kat. I think Kat will also launch a Viper. She can also be in one of the newer Vipers. And she launches there with Apollo, and she's actually going to fly out to this way, and we'll have these Vipers also continuing this way. Okay, so she gets her cards as well. So a leadership, 2 tactic, and pilot. Okay, so Kat gets to pull her crisis card. This is the water problem. So we have that water problem. The president gets to decide -1 to food, or the president throws away 2 cards. So we can throw away 3 cards. So let's have him throw away his cards. That's fine. He throws away 3 cards. So he can throw away. I think he had to take a sabotage card too, so you can throw that out. He's a 0, a 0, and a 1. So here, Tom Zarek throws out cards, so we take no effect. But we do get to move the jump clock. So the jump clock moves 1 more forward. And that's going to do it for Kat's turn. Oh, wait, Scar gets to move a turn here. And I think Scar immediately will attack the... Let's leave his card out for a second. Scar gets to attack this fighter with a 7 or 8. So let's have Scar attack first. So I think Scar can just attack the fleet. It's automatically destroyed. So I think Scar destroys one of these, which is population down again. So we have population down to 10 from Scar's attack. But our Kat in this Cat and these two Vipers get to go, and they on a 7 or 8. So Cat rolls a 7, and he gets destroyed. So we get Scar pulled off pretty quickly there. And we move it to Colonel Ty. So Colonel Ty goes next. Scar is back off the board. He did destroy one of our ships, but other than that, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I think because we're close to the jump, Saul Ty is going to move to the jump control. He's going to collect his cards, and he will take a crisis card as well. So Saul Ty gets his cards. Cylons are off the board here, so we'll move to his card, and it's the enemy of my enemy. So this is sort of like Natalie. So basically we need to get a 13 with yellow, greens, and reds. So we'll start with Baltar here. Baltar can go. Caprica can go. Cavill will try to screw them. Put in a negative card. Leodama. He can play this card. Tom Zarek. Again, he's lost some cards, but he can play this one. Galen Tyrrell. Again, try to beat it. You don't know what we're going to get. We have to put 2 cards from the Destiny deck in this pile. Cat gets to go. And then finally, Saul Ty. Okay, so let's shuffle these up, count them out, and see if we win or lose this one. So we count these up. We get 1 against 3, 4, 5, 11, 16, 21, 26, 23. Yeah, so it looks like we won this one. It's just passing is only -1 morale. Otherwise it was -2 morale. And we get a jump clock advance. Jump clock advances. We've got the ability to roll the jump clock, but with a -1 roll. So I believe the jump clock, if we roll -1, I believe we can make a roll instead and just take -1 off that roll. So let me just double check the jump rules. The jump clock. I don't necessarily have to go early. We can wait till next turn to do it. So there's no big rush. So I just thought he could do the jump clock, but no big rules like I mentioned. So okay, let's just leave it for the next turn. That's fine. We can discard these, and we'll leave that up to Gaius. So Gaius can then collect his cards. Again, we have no Cylons on the board right this moment. We've defeated Scar already. So Gaius will go ahead and pick his crisis card. And he will also move to the jump station. And we get Cylon Genocide. So if we fail, there's going to be a huge fleet launch. If we fail, minus morale plus a fleet going to enter into our space. So let's try to get this one. It's 21. So we'll start with Gaius Baltar. We need yellows, greens, and purples. So we'll start with Gaius. Blues also count. Apollo. Zarek. It's funny how as you play these crisis cards do dwindle. And Galen Tyrrell. And Cat. And Saul Ty. And guys already went. We'll take the 2 Destiny cards as well. and let's see what happens with the results of the Cylon genocide. So, Cylon genocide, we'll shuffle all these in, so we know who's who, and we'll count these out. So we get 1, 5, 9, 15, 19, 20, 22, 24. Yeah, and these aren't going to count. So yeah, it's over 21, so we pass it. Over 21 passes. So we just get away with success. Oh, if there's any Cylon ships, we can destroy the Cylon fleet. So we don't have any Cylon ships on the board, so we're okay. We get to also move the jump clock up, so we reset the jump clock. We have to put all of our ships back inside of the Galactica. Our fleet, that means Cat and Starbuck are back on the ship. So Starbuck and Cat are all in the hangar bay. The ships get... No ships are damaged, so all the ships go back into the reserve, the Viper reserve. And we make that jump. So that was the Cylon genocide. And then next up we go to Caprica 6. Oh, just from the Cylon jump, we reveal the card. Put 2 raiders near the Galactica. So basically, we have to do some setup of Cylon raiders, so we can get to that next round. But we do get 3 points toward New Caprica, so we're almost at the 4 points. Let's go ahead and get Caprica her cards, and we'll also get her to... She will move over to the base star, the Rebel base star, and she will claim this for the Cylons for now. And she will go to the hibernation tank, and no crisis card for... No, I guess she plays... We can put a crisis card down for her. Why not? Put a crisis card down for her. And it's analysis of the enemy, case of the enemy. So we get 7. Has to be blues and purples. So with the 7 blues and purples, we can put this. 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 And 2 of them from the Destiny deck. We can flip through these. Let's see if we get 7. Okay, so first off we get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but then we lose 3 and we lose 5, so that's 8. So they only have 1, so that means we lose this one. The Cylons win it, and it means that we lose 1 population again. So now our population's down to 9. We've been shedding population. Good news is we do have a jump clock included, so our jump clock advances. Let's see what happens with the Cylon jump clock here. So we've got the Flotilla Cylon. She's got this action here as well. And we can jump over to next turn for Cavill. Cavill can collect his cards. We've got the 1 and a trader card here. And we'll also give Cavill the ability. Cavill's going to go from the Flotilla Cylon. He's going to go and join the Cylon Flotilla. Now he can start his clock to count down the Cylon fleet to come here, land here. So we can play with both mechanisms. So we'll kind of make it difficult for the our human fleet. We'll play a crisis card. We got the Cylon virus here. So we need a 13 to win this one. Again, we'll start with Lee. Tom Zarek. Not looking good here, guys. We need a 13. Blues and purples. Blue and purple. And 2 cards from the deck here. So let's see what we get. Virus Cylon comes up. We've got purple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 8 against it. So we have to send someone to the infirmary. Let's send Tom Zarek, the president, gets sent off to the infirmary. And we get to put one of the, we also have a Cylon figure sort of like boarding the ship. So we've got like a Cylon intruder now that's starting this clock. So we have a Cylon on board. See a little Cylon figure here? So we got a Cylon infiltrator on board. And that's going to wrap it up. We also get to move our fleet clock 1. And Cavill gets to also move his fleet clock 1. So, oh no, this one doesn't have a fleet clock, so we don't move a fleet clock. But Cavill gets to move his fleet clock. We spawn a ship here. And that's going to do it for the round. So thank you guys for watching. We'll come back in next episode. We will jump into turn 2. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you in the next turn. Bye-bye.